mismo are supposed to review. So, bale yung lahat ng protocols mo under that structure ay medyo skewed, no? Ang question ko, Attorney, because the Chief Justice is parang, yun nga, expected to review all this. At sila din ang nag-penalize nung ilang mga huwes na hindi nga nakapag-comply in the past. Ano ang dapat treatment ng batas sa kanya, being the person in authority over the judiciary? His non-compliance or failure to comply with accuracy, should it be treated against him with greater severity or dapat mas lenient sa kanya?
Okay, let's try to be precise. No? Doon sa mga kaso, at least those that I reviewed, no, involving SALN, where government officials have been removed, involved cases where there were acts other than the misdeclaration or the failure to declare. Like, for example, in nepotism. When you are required by the law to declare whether you have relatives, and this vice mayor somewhere in the Bicol region did not declare. In fact, he said, no, I don't have relatives. Turns out that, mayor pala, turns out that what he appointed was his first cousin. See? So, it was not really the misdeclaration, but it was the fact that he committed a crime, the crime of nepotism. If you review all these cases, ganun hindi lang yung may mali sa SALN, but yung mali na yon was a means to commit another crime. If you look at these cases, ganun po dapat ang tingin natin. So, because, alam mo, tao, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, the law itself provides a mechanism to correct mistakes.
Kaya po ba nag-file na yung grupo nila, Risa Ontiveros and other groups? They've already filed charges against the Chief Justice, or they've filed a complaint against the Chief Justice with the Ombudsman.
Okay.
Kaya po yung the Ombudsman. So, are we saying that because kagaya no, nepotism is the crime, in this case, it's going to be graft? That's going to be the crime. Ganun po ba yung parallelism?
Dapat ganon. Dapat ganon. Like, the SALN was misdeclared or was
because there was graft.
So badly prepared precisely because he was trying to cover up for graft or or things like this. Then yan. Because that was the idea in the first place.
Graft talaga.
Diba?
It's a prevention of graft.
Yes.
Okay.
So hindi
detection and prevention.
So hindi lang yung SALN po, hindi lang po requirement 'yan. Ito po ay para talaga makita itong mga ginagawa at mga pag-aari po ng ating mga public officials.
Oh yes. I mean, no less than the Constitution requires this. And I think the idea really here is so that our government officials become accountable. And this is the first step, no? Ipakita, para pag tingin mo pa lang, sabihin mo, uy, sobra naman ang ari-arian nito, dun sa kinita niya, hindi pwede, so may presumption ka na agad, no? But of course, this is not the only way of proving that there was graft and corruption, but this is a good start.
Correct.
This is a good start.
Attorney, how did you find yung pagpapa-interview ng Chief Justice? Marami pong nagsasabi na it is very un-Chief Justice-like kasi in previous Chief Justices, wala pong gumanon, wala pong bumaba sa media, nagpa-media interview ng ganong karami, ibang-iba daw itong si Chief Justice. Don't you think naapektuhan daw ba yung pagiging Chief Justice niya or yung pwesto ng Chief Justice dahil sa kanyang ginawa?
Objectively speaking, I think you cannot fault him. Kasi there's a trial in here and there's a bigger trial out there. And I think his lawyers are addressing the trial in here and somehow that thing has to be addressed out there. You know, if he came out without these peculiar circumstances, without this case, and he hugs the media, he hugs the cameras, and he's fond of the media, medyo quizzical tayo dyan, di ba? Kasi they're supposed to be very private persons. They're supposed to shun mga society, no? So that they can be really independent and they can have the cold neutrality of a of a person who decides on the fate of people. But in this particular case, he is acting no longer as a Chief Justice. He's acting as the respondent. He's acting as a person accused. And I think naman it's unfair naman also to ascribe to that action, his action to defend himself as a person, to his position, because that had nothing to do with his position, di ba? That's the way I look at it. Because if it were an official declaration, for example, sana, of an act that they did in the Supreme Court, and he comes out on the media himself, then that would have been different. Or he came out, because the way I look at it, because I saw some of the instances when he came out on TV, and he was addressing the impeachment. He was addressing matters that were being thrown to him, especially matters that are not being taken up here in the trial. Eh, saan mo nga naman sasagutin yun? And who is the best person? That's why I also believe na mukhang dapat
Tumistigo siya.
tumistigo siya.
Attorney Dennis, pakipaliwanag po sa amin, ano ba po itong tinatawag na Code of Judicial Standards? Ano po ba yung dapat maging behavior ng mga mahistrado?
Oh, it's a very stringent set of rules. It's a law. It's a canon. It's certain rules. Just like we lawyers have our own code of conduct, government officials have their own code of conduct, doctors have their own code of conduct, professionals mostly have their own code of conduct. And really, if you really read through the canons and yung rules of conduct nila, yung sabi nga nila, just like Caesar's wife,
Yes.
you have to be beyond reproach. You have
Ano
to be
pong ibig sabihin nun?
dapat hindi ka pwedeng pagsuspetsahan. Yung
So, hindi
malinis
lang-
na malinis ka.
So, hindi lang wala kang ginagawa, pero dapat wala silang suspetsang may ginagawa ka.
That's right. That's right. Pero ito naman having said that, hindi mo rin maaalis sa tao yung masyadong chismoso. Wala na nga namang ginagawa yung tao, pinagsususpetsahan pa.
Pero ito po, how do we move forward from this? Na yung, we have a Chief Justice who is on public trial and people are divided, base po sa ating mga na talagang yung perception nila ay divided. Hindi po ba daw na in the interest of preserving the judiciary na he should just step down? Yun yung argumento ng ilang opinion makers.
I think it's too late for that option. I think we have put our institutions already on trial for him to stop it. I think it will be best for everybody that we see this process through to the end and become better for it.
Attorney Dennis, you said that we already put our institutions on trial. Pakipaliwanag po, hindi lang po ba si Chief Justice ang on trial dito?
Hindi lang po si Chief Justice ang on trial dito. Well, for a lot of reasons, no? Isa pa, yung hindi mo kasi madi-divorce yung tao, yung Chief Justice, doon sa opisina niya in the institution that he represents. Habang pinag-uusapan natin ang behavior ng isang tao, ni Chief Justice, as a Chief Justice, pinag-uusapan natin actually yung behavior ng kung sino man ang uupo dyan. So, hindi lang natin tinitignan si Chief Justice, kundi tinitignan natin kung sino man ang umupo dyan, ganyan dapat. Ngayon, baka mahirapan tayong humanap na ng tao umupo dyan. Something like that. No? So, this is a process which is, nung una po, let me explain. Nung una po, yung IBP wanted sana to take issue with the way the Congress have done this, no? But since it was overtaken by events, andyan na yung and even the Chief Justice brought the issue to the Senate, sabi namin, we cannot be more popes than the Pope.
Which is a good opportunity now to clarify. Ano nga po ba talaga ang naging posisyon na ngayon ng IBP vis-a-vis the impeachment?
Kasi parang ang dami pong nagsalita na past officers,
Na parang-
present. Ano po ba talaga?
Okay, ganito. Officially, we came up with a written, formal, published statement where we took issue on the way that Congress have not only prepared, but in the way that they have fast-tracked, breakneck ang tawag namin, speed, and they have not followed, to our view, the constitutional requirements of verification. Which, of course, to the mind of the IBP, makes the complaint null and void. You don't follow the Constitution, you're null and void. Ganun lang. So, since it's null and void, our position then was stop it. You know, maybe Congress can go back because we recognize naman, IBP recognizes the power of the Congress to initiate, to impeach. But it is not an unbridled right. It is a right that is subject to certain requirements, to a certain process by the Constitution, and we feel that that was not followed. That's why we felt that if they wanted to impeach somebody, then they do it properly. Fine. Now, but like I said, it was overtaken by events. The Chief Justice filed his answer, and we were even contemplating to go to the Supreme Court, the IBP, just like in previous IBPs, in the impeachment of Chief Justice Davide, for example. The IBP went to the Supreme Court and was able to get a TRO and stopped the impeachment of Chief Justice Davide. And we mulled over that, and we invited mga deans of law schools. And it took us one whole day to brainstorm on this, and in the end, the consensus was it's good for our nation that we move forward. And we go through the process, and maybe we learn from this process. Ours was a more technical position.